Unavailable products don't have to automatically lead to lost sales. With the ACRIS plugin back in stock notification, customers can be automatically informed when products are available again or when stock is low. Customers are automatically informed as soon as an unavailable product is back in stock. Additionally, they can subscribe to a stock alert when availability is low. Both functions can be managed individually per product and sales channel. All registrations and notification statuses are managed clearly in the shopware administration. We are now on the homepage of the shopware administration. First, we will configure the global settings for stock notifications and stock alerts. To do this, we navigate to Extensions, My Extensions, and click Configure to open the plugin settings. First, we configure the stock notification settings. Here we can define whether the email notification is disabled by default and enabled only for selected products, or enabled by default and disabled only for selected products. For our example, we choose the second option. Optionally, we can allow customers to place an order even while the email notification form is active. We can also configure the cart button and either hide it completely or display it in a disabled state. Next, we can hide the delivery time information whenever the stock notification form is active in the storefront. We also configure the privacy settings, inherit them from the shopware settings, and activate the double opt-in process for email notifications. Next, we define the minimum stock level at which registered customers are notified. In our example, the notification is sent as soon as at least one unit is available again. Optionally, the notification form can be displayed only for products marked as closeout items, or the plugin can prevent products with an active notification form from being treated as closeout products. Finally, we select the position of the stock notification form. Several options are available, and for our example, we display it above the buy button. Next, we configure the stock alert settings. Again, we can choose whether email notifications are enabled by default and disabled only for selected products, or disabled by default and enabled only for selected products. Optionally, the shop operator can also be notified when only a few units of a product remain in stock. Here, we can enter the email addresses that should receive internal stock alerts. We can also combine multiple internal stock notifications into a single email. Next, we define when the stock alert form should be displayed on the product detail page. The form can always be displayed when the product stock is greater than 0, only when the stock is above the low stock threshold defined for the product or hidden from the storefront and used only for internal notifications. For our example, we select the first option. Next, we define the position of the low stock alert form. For our example, we select the display option with the bell icon. Optionally, we can also hide the delivery time information while the stock alert form is active. Next, we configure the privacy settings and inherit them from the shopware settings. We then select the alert message type, choosing between a warning and an informational message, and activate the double opt-in process for email notifications. Next, we define the stock level at which the only a few items left message is displayed. In our example, we set the threshold to 5 units. We can then customize the message and its additional help text, as well as configure individual text and background colors for the product detail page and product listings. Additional settings are available for the double opt-in process, the automatic cleanup of stock notification and stock alert entries, and error handling. We then save the plugin configuration and open a product to configure the product-specific settings. To do this, we navigate to Catalogs, Products, and open a product. In the General tab, we scroll down to the Deliverability section. Here, the plugin adds 3 additional fields, one to enable stock notifications, one to enable stock alerts, and one to define the stock level at which the stock alert email is sent. For this product, we enable the stock notification and set the current stock level to 0. We then save the product, open a second product, and scroll down to the Deliverability section again. For this product, we enable the stock alert and define the stock level at which the alert should be triggered. In our example, we set the threshold to 5 units. We then save the product and switch to the storefront to see the result. We are now in the storefront, where we can see the 2 products we configured. First, we open the product for which the stock notification was enabled. Above the buy button, the email field is displayed. Customers can enter their email address here to be notified as soon as the product is back in stock. We enter our email address and submit the form. A message then informs us that we need to check our inbox and confirm the registration using the link provided in the email. This is the double opt-in process we configured earlier. We now return to the category page and open the second product for which we enabled the stock alert. Here we can see the bell icon we configured. When we click the icon, the stock alert form opens. Customers can enter their email address here to be notified when the stock level reaches 5 units or fewer, as configured earlier. We submit the form and can see that the double opt-in process is also active for stock alerts. Finally, we return to the shopware administration. Next, we take a look at the overview of stock notifications and stock alerts. To do this, we navigate to Settings Extensions. Here, the plugin has added 2 new menu items, Stock Alert and Stock Notification. When we open the Stock Alert section and select the list of stock alerts, we can see all customers who have subscribed to an alert. The overview shows the selected product, the current status, such as an email address being registered while double opt-in confirmation is still pending, whether the customer has already been notified, as well as the sales channel and language. Entries can also be added manually from this overview. We then return to the menu and open the stock notification overview. Here, we can see again all registrations with the selected product, notification status, sales channel, and language. Stock notification entries can also be added manually. This way, customers are automatically informed about products that are back in stock and low inventory levels. At the same time, all registrations, notifications, and product-specific settings can be managed centrally and clearly directly in Shopware.